So, as you know, Liverpool twice threw away a lead at Elland Road versus Leeds on Saturday, but all the big news after the game was what Mohamed Salah had to say. We're going to hear that from him, and then we'll hear what Arne Slot has to say after that.
I'm very, very disappointed, to be fair. I have done so much for this club. Everybody can see that during the years, and especially last season. Sitting on the bench, I don't know why. Seems like a club is throwing me under the bus. That's how I feel it. I think it's very clear that someone wants me to get all the blame. The club promised me in the summer for a lot of promises and nothing. So far, I'm in the bench 3 games, so I can say that they keep the promise. And I said that many times before. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. It seems to me, how I see it, it's someone doesn't want me in the club. But again, this club, I always support it. My kids will always support it. I love the club so much, and I will always do. Now I called my mom yesterday because I knew you guys didn't know that I'm gonna start or not, but I knew. I called my mom and dad yesterday. I told them come to Brighton game. It doesn't matter if I play or not. I'm gonna enjoy it. We'll see what's gonna happen, but in my head, I'm going to enjoy that game if I played or not, if I'm in the bench or not, because I don't know what's going to happen now. So I'm just going to be in Anfield, say goodbye to the fans. I'm going to Africa Cup because I don't know what's going to happen when I'm there.
What do you do with the situation now, Mohamed?
It's not acceptable for me, to be fair. Like, I don't know why that's happening always to me. Like, I don't get it. I think if I'm somewhere else, every club will protect his player. I don't know why I'm in that situation now. But again, it's how I see it now is it's like you throw him more under the bus because he's a problem in the team now. But I don't think I'm the problem. I have done so much for this club to get the respect I want to get, and I don't have to go every day fighting for my position because I earn it. People will say, you're not bigger than. I'm not bigger than anyone. I earn my position. This is football. Yeah. So it is what it is.
When you say that about the Brighton game, you mean that possibly it could, be your last game, you consider your future in January, perhaps?
Yeah, in football you never know, but I don't accept the situation, to be fair.
Usually I'm calm and polite, but that doesn't mean I'm weak. So if a player has these commands about so many things, then it's about us as a club to react, and we reacted in a way you can see now that he's not here.
Do you feel that your relationship has broken down?
No, that's not the way I feel, but he has the right to feel how he feels things. I haven't felt that at all till Saturday evening for sure. The most thoughts I had are about tomorrow, and in the meantime we've decided what I just said, not to take him with us to this game, and after tomorrow we will look at the situation again. I'm a firm believer that there's always a possibility to return for a player.
This is the first time we've seen Stevie since this bombshell dropped. What's your reaction to it?
Well, it makes you angry. It makes me angry, listening to him. If there's one thing that Mo Salah has had, regardless of what he's done on the field, is he's had class off the field. This is the absolute opposite. There's nothing classy about this. He's basically coming out, he's having a go at the club. I mean, why is he having a go at the Liverpool Football Club? I mean, they gave him 400 grand a week 4 months ago, and he's trying to say they throw him under the bus. I mean, really? I understand if he's upset at the manager, I get that. But the bottom line is, you do not come out and do what he did. Liverpool, that dressing room is going through enough turmoil. They don't need him throwing more fuel on the fire. Because all it's going to do is make the noise louder, and it's going to come more often. And then he's talking about he's getting thrown under the bus, and he doesn't know why. What's he talking about? Has he gone home and looked in the mirror and seen what we see? Because he's telling his Slot and the club are not backing him. He's blaming them, basically. He's taking no responsibility for his poor performances. 13 Premier League games in. There's no saying in the game, you're only as good as your last game. Well, unfortunately for Mohamed, his last game wasn't good. The one before it wasn't good. The one before it was worse. The one before that was even worse. You know, he's taken no responsibility. I don't remember him last year when he's scoring all these goals and getting all the applaudits and all the pats in the back. I don't remember him turning around and saying, oh, the club have been so good to me, and Arne Slot, you know, all of a sudden, the club and Arne Slot are the reason why he's not playing well. I mean, it's just every single thing about it smells. And there's only one little bit that he said that we didn't actually hear there that I will give him, is that he said he didn't know why. Now, that tells me that Arne Slot hasn't sat him down and explained why he's not playing. You know, a proper coach, in my opinion, when you're bringing somebody like a Mo Salah or a player who's a regular and all of a sudden you're not playing them, you sit them down and you tell them exactly why they're not playing. And you do that for two reasons. Number one, then the player can have no qualms about why he's not playing, but you've also told them how he needs to get back in the team. And you've also covered your back so that somebody like Mo Salah can't come out and say, well, I've got no idea why I'm not playing. So other than that little thing, I'm sorry, Mo, no class in that statement whatsoever.
How does it resolve itself?
I would not be shocked if he's not gone in the January window. I mean, that's to do what he did. There's going to be players in the dressing room that are going to be unhappy with him as well. I mean, there's so much turmoil that what the dressing room doesn't need is somebody to add more turmoil. You know, and he's one of the senior players. Whenever you're at a football club and things are not going well, you need your senior players, the guys at the top of the tree, to be the example both on and off the field. And I'm afraid Mo has shown neither on the field and quite clearly now off the field.
Mario, what do you think about what Stevie's saying?
No, you know what Stevie said, I'm sad actually, because, you know, when you're that good, right, as an individual, and you play that great of a season. Remember we were talking about him and you know, like even last season we were saying like, oh, he earned that right. I even said that he earned the right to get a new deal and everything. Then he comes out and says that. One key thing that Mo have to understand, he's in the middle of his career and maybe he doesn't get it. But I can tell you, after your career, it is going to be like that. You're not going to get the explanation that you're looking for, because people are going to care less about you if you don't perform as well as you were doing prior. That happens after your career and during your career too. Maybe, I remember his time at Chelsea, his similarities is happening now. That, you know, that he left and now he's at Liverpool. He made a great name for himself and well deserved. But then you go and say something like this, you're never going to be bigger than a club. And the other part is as well, you had guys that did it prior to you. Like, I'll give an example. Let's say we just call a name that we all, Gerrard, for example. You think Gerrard was going to be bigger than that club? No. But everybody goes through the same steps. He has to understand it. I'm just sad to hear that. And he said, like, I earned my spot. That is what Stevie said. I earned my spot. We all been through that. Believe me, we all had that feeling that we earned our spot and we're supposed to be playing. Yes, I had that too. But clearly, I learned really quickly when I was at Ajax. They said to me, no, my friend, you will never be bigger than this team. So you either do it our way or you found a different way. And you quickly learn that. And I think he hasn't learned it, or he doesn't want to learn that it's not going to be like that. Because now they're talking about, okay, news are coming up. Maybe he's leaving, he's going to Saudi, or he's going to this. Why can he not just, you know, like fight his way back into the team and play the game that everybody wants to see and everybody enjoys? What Slot did wrong, what Stevie said, I will highlight that too, what Stevie said. Like one little thing that happened when the coach should have spoken to him, because he's that important of a player, because he clearly has two guys, Van Dijk and Salah, that are key figures in his team. He should have set him down. He shouldn't just, you know, not let him play. But that's a little bit too Dutch. In our country sometimes, it's more like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and you have to accept it. No, it doesn't work like that. That maybe works in Holland, but it doesn't work when we go over the water. You got to explain it to an individual and say to him, listen, my friend, I'm not liking what you are performing at the moment. The team needs stability, and you at the moment are not giving that to us. So we need to fight and keep it tight and maybe defend a little bit more. You're not our player that is going to defend that much because you don't score that many goals, so we can't take the risk with you. and then they have to play somebody else. And that's what's happening, because you think Sabala is the best right winger they have? No. But it just helps the team balance at the moment.
Mark, I think you were at training this morning for Liverpool, right, before they jetted off to Italy for the Champions League game. What's the talk as to the future of Mohamed Salah here and whether he could be going in January?
Yeah, so I went down to training because the day before a Champions League game you get open access to training, which is probably a bit unfortunate for Liverpool today. But yeah, we get the chance to see Mo Salah train, and he came out and he trained, and it seemed like a normal training session. But you know, the general kind of vibe around Liverpool was a couple of things really. First of all, there's a sense of confusion as to what happens next, because I think they want to use this next couple of games to buy themselves some time. He's not going to play against Inter. I'm pretty surprised if he figures in the squad against Brighton. I think Liverpool want to kind of keep him away from the team. And then he goes to the African nations, and that gives the club and Salah and his agent the time to work out what to do. But there was definitely a sense of people at the club and around the club feeling let down by Salah. Not because of what he said. I mean, Stevie will know this, but the Liverpool way kept being mentioned to me. It's not the Liverpool way to do this. It really isn't the Liverpool way. It's the modern way. It's the way that a lot of players do this now. But another thing that was put to me was that Arne Slot he's having a difficult time right now, but within the club, he's really popular. He treats people with respect. He's honest with people. He's straight with people, and people feel that Mo Salah's let Arne Slot down. Now, just to pick up the point about Salah saying that he wasn't told about this. Arne Slot has said tonight before his press conference that he sat Salah down twice before the Leeds game to explain. So we have to kind of take both sides of the picture. I'd be amazed if Arne Slot didn't sit Salah down before the first game against West Ham and say, "Look, you're not playing." But we don't know. You know, Mo Salah said one thing, Arne Slot may say something else. But you know, how's it going to end? I think it'll end with Mo Salah going to Saudi Arabia in January. I think, you know, there's a couple of kind of previous incidents that spring to mind. The first one is Cristiano Ronaldo. He went head-to-head with Man United 2 or 3 years ago. They let him go. They cancelled his contract and moved him on. But prior to that, I remember Wayne Rooney had a big situation with Sir Alex Ferguson at Man United, wanted to leave. Carlos Tevez at Man City, massive bust at Roberto Mancini. But the difference is, both Tevez and Rooney were at the peak of their powers at the time, and the clubs fought to keep them. Cristiano Ronaldo at United, less so. He was a guy that was past his best. And I think Mo Salah has got to that point with Liverpool. I think he's got to the point this season where those stats you showed earlier on, they show it. His numbers are way, way, way down on what they were last season. That's because, one, he's getting older, he's 34 next year, but also Luis Diaz isn't doing his running for him anymore, Darwin Núñez isn't doing his running for him anymore because they both left. We had the tragedy of Diogo Jota, who was another player that would do the running for Mo Salah. Alexander Isak has come in, and Florian Wirtz, and they have a different role. They don't play the same way. So the combination of Mo Salah's ageing process and teammates around him being less able or prepared to do the running for him has meant that he's no longer as effective. So I think ultimately that will decide Liverpool's judgment. They'll let him go.
It seems unfathomable to think of a club legend like Mo Salah leaving without saying goodbye properly to the Liverpool fans.
Unfortunately, although we do work with Disney, footballers don't get the chance to write their ending. It's what it is. Sometimes it ends the way you want it to, but very rarely does it end the way you want it to. You know, when you get older as a player, and as good as you've been, regardless of who you are, you don't get to choose when the end comes. And unfortunately, you're right. It doesn't look as though Mohamed Salah is going to get an opportunity. Certainly on the field, he may be able to walk out onto the field after the Brighton game. Because I'm with Oggy, I think he's gone. And I think he's gone even more so because of what Oggy said about the manager actually sat him down twice and told them the reasons. So the fact that he actually came out and said what he did, having been told twice, is just, again, just ridiculous. Just the wrong thing to do. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It would be better if he'd played, if he'd scored, and then he goes off into the sun. But unfortunately, as we said, you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick how you finish at certain clubs.
To that point, Lionel Messi had to leave Barcelona without saying a proper goodbye. And if Lionel Messi can leave Barcelona without saying a proper goodbye, none of us are exempt from it. Listen, I'm with everybody on this, and I think there are a couple of things. The statement from Mo Salah was very self-serving, right? And I understand that, talking about your record at the football club and how much you've done for it, and you felt that as a result you deserved more. Fine. If you wanted to make this an argument or popularity contest between you and Arne Slot, stick to that. Stick to what's happening between you and Arne Slot. But from the time you start to bring the club in, and listen, I've never played for Liverpool, but I can tell you, you as a player, you ask those fans to pick between player and club, you're going to lose every single time.
Yeah.
So maybe he had a chance of making a point if he kept it to, this is me and Arne Slot having a disagreement. You ask any fans to pick between two individuals. These Liverpool fans, you ask them to go against the club, I'm sorry, that's a losing argument every single time.
Yeah.
The most outrageous thing
You
for
know
me,
what I also-
the most outrageous thing for me, sorry Mario, he said was, the line was, after what I've done for this club, that's what makes me angry.
Yeah.
That's what makes me angry. He will realise one day that it's the other way around. He will realise one day that all the adulation and all the hero worship and all the money and all the other things, you know why he's got all that? Because he went and played at Liverpool Football Club. And Liverpool coaching staff, fans, other players, along with him, made his career at Liverpool what it was. And that's the one line that really gets right up my nose. Yeah. All that I've done for the club, behave yourself.
Mario?
Yeah, because, you know, like also what I highlighted, when he came to Chelsea and it didn't work out for him, he goes to Liverpool and he did exactly what Chelsea would have loved to see. You know, someone like him and doing all those things, and it didn't work out. So, and then now, when he came out with this statement, also I'm thinking now, it's not only that he wants to play, or does Mo Salah wants to leave? That is my question now. Is it that's the reason why he maybe came out? Because he knows what's going to come out of this. He's a very intelligent man, and tactically he knows when he talks and the way he spoke, it's going to come out. Remember about the contract when he spoke? People straight away, there was already movement happening on the back scene for him. And now he comes out again, right? The timing is perfect. The African nation is going to come. I'm going to play anyway. So if I say something, I'm going to have a journey that I'm going to play. Now we both have to make a decision. I have to make a decision. The club has to make a decision. And maybe this guy's, he wants that.